Good afternoon, my dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to the 126th webinar hosted by English Language Teachers Association, ELTAI, on the topic Integrating the Six Qs, Transforming Teaching with Activity-Based Learning. I am your host for today, Dr. Hemangi from ELTAI Baramati chapter. It's my pleasure to have you all here with us. I welcome you all on behalf of ELTAI. So, before we dive into today's engaging topic, let's take a moment to get acquainted with the vibrant world of ELTAI. For those who are new to our community or simply need a refresher, we have a brief video to showcase some of the incredible activities and the initiatives ELTAI is involved in. Uh, Can we have the video of ELTAI, please?
Ma'am, we will play the video once we start the webinar. Meanwhile, interact with the participants, know them where they are from in the chat box. Dear participants, good evening. In the chat box, write where are you from, your country, state name and district, and your profession, whether you are a teacher.
Designation and your institutional affiliations.
Yes.
Yeah. So before we move forward or we start with the webinar, I would just like to throw light on and get the information from my dear participants. The What are the competencies required for holistic language learning? I would like you all to please put your answer for this question in the chat box. So once we are done with, if we are done with the introduction, I would like to like all the participants to introduce themselves in the chat box. I would just like the participants to just please type the answer for the question. The competencies required for holistic language learning. I think I think we have the moderator and the speaker here, sir. We welcome you, sir, Rommel Tabula, sir, and Dr. Ram Kishan Bise, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, we've got one answer for the competencies. Required are LSRW and vocabulary, interpersonal skills, communication skills. Yeah, great. So before we dive into today's engaging topic, let's take a moment to get acquainted with the vibrant world of ELTAI. For those who are new to our community or simply need a refresher, we have a brief video to showcase some of the incredible activities and initiatives ELTAI is involved in. Wow, wasn't that inspiring? ELTAI's commitment to empower English language teachers, educators across India is truly commendable. We hope you'll consider becoming a part of this dynamic association if you haven't already. Before I reveal our presenter's identity, I would just read out the few of the responses here. The responses for the question asked for the competencies for holistic education for learning. Some of them have answered as LSRW and higher order thinking skills, communication skills, motivation, exposure to standard speech, self efficiency, communication skills, lifelong learning, linguistic performance, critical thinking, right? Mastery of the 21st century skills. Okay. So now let me introduce our esteemed moderator who will be moderating this webinar and offer his expert opinion at the end of this session. We have today with us Dr. Ram Kishan Bise, who is a dynamic figure in the field of education, renowned for his multifaceted expertise as an SF promoter, soft skill trainer, aviation English trainer, and language writer. Currently serving as an assistant professor of communication skills at SIES Graduate School of Technology in Navi Mumbai, he brings over a decade of rich teaching experience. Dr. Bisai holds a PhD in Indian science fiction, reflecting his profound engagement with literary and speculative domains. His research interests span a wide spectrum encompassing ELT, CALL, that is computer assisted language learning, mobile assisted language learning, MAL, web assisted language learning, WAL, and curriculum planning. Acknowledged for his outstanding teaching abilities, he has been honored with esteemed awards such as the State and National Mahatma Jyotirao Phule Teacher Award, the MTC Global Distinguished Teacher Award, and the Best NSS Area Coordinator Award for Mumbai University. Dr. Bisa's extensive contribution to academia are reflected in his publication of over 20 research papers, edited journals, and authored books. Notably, his recent publications include works on universal human values and professional ethics, communication skills, professional communication, and curriculum development of ESL programs in higher education. Furthermore, he has made significant strides in organizing national and international seminars, workshops, and conferences, underscoring his commitment to fostering his dialogue and professional growth. We welcome you, sir.
Yeah,
I request you to take over the session.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hemangi ma'am. Thank you very much. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, it's an absolute honor to introduce today's distinguished speaker, Dr. Rommel Tabula, a visionary in education, research, and leadership. Dr. Tabula is the founder and CEO and president of the International Society of Teachers, Administrators, and Researchers, that is known as a ISTAR, a global professional organization that operates under the laws of both Kingdom of Thailand and Republic of Philippines. He is also a driving force behind two other significant organizations, the International Alliance of English Language Teachers and the International Chamber of Authors, Reviewers, and Editors. So Dr. Tabula's contribution extend far beyond the administrative leadership. Over the course of his career, he has spearheaded more than 100 international conferences, both in person and online, and his impact has been felt across the globe. As an accomplished educator, researcher, editor, and peer reviewer, he has earned recognition from numerous prestigious institutions, both locally and internationally. So, for his invaluable work in advancing education, research, and scholarly publication. Uh, i- in terms of academic credentials, Dr. Tabula holds a PhD in English language teaching from Northwestern University, Master of Arts in Teaching English from University of Northern Philippines. Uh, then Dr. Tabula has an extensive teaching career in both Philippines and Thailand. So he has held roles such as assistant professor, research coordinator at Marino Macro State University, and he has served as a research editor instructor at University of Northern Philippines. So among other positions in Thailand, his contributions span roles as a EFL teacher, trainer, researcher, and various esteemed institutions, including Maha Sarkum University, K-Start University of Faculty of Education. So, in recognition of his so many vast achievements, Dr. Tabula has been confirmed 3 honorary doctorate degrees and is a fellow of Royal Institution of Educators, so bestowed by the Royal Institute of Singapore. And he holds the title of country head of Mahatma Gandhi Global Peace Forum India. And throughout his journey, he has published many research papers, earning citation, and he has traveled extensively across Asia, sharing his insight as a speaker at various international conferences. With further ado, please join me to welcoming Dr. Rommel V to enlighten us on the topic integrating six quotients, transforming teaching with activity-based learning. Welcome, Dr. Rommel V. Tabula. Now you can proceed with your presentation. Welcome once again.
Namaste, India, and greetings to all the participants from all over the world. Thank you for joining me in this session, and I am indeed gratitude personified for inviting me to share my humble knowledge and experiences relative to the topic. So please do allow me to share my presentation.
Yes. Kevin, can you do it? So are you able to do that now?
Is it enter or window? Forgot.
Just
All right. Is my
Yes,
screen visible now to all of you,
yes,
my
sir.
dear friends?
Yes, sir.
yes, visible, dear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with such a dedicated group of educators, especially since most of you are from India, a country that is very rich with culture and tradition. Today, we're going to explore how integrating the six quotients IQ, EQ, MQ, PQ, CQ, and AQ into our teaching practices can transform our classrooms and foster deeper engagement in students. I'll be drawing on my experiences in teaching both in my current workplace here in the Kingdom of Thailand, as well as my previous experiences 8 years ago in my home country, the Philippines, in order to give practical examples to on how this quotients can be incorporated into activity-based learning with a particular focus on English language and literature teaching. So here's the overview of my presentation. I'll be starting with a short introductory note about um, the subject or the topic, and then I will be dealing with an overview of the six quotients or the six Qs. Then I will present on how to integrate the six quotients into English language and literature teaching. We will also explore
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Uh,
I think he has lost the connectivity. We'll just get in touch with him.
I think there is some network issues from the speaker side. So he joining. Okay, so there is some problem with connectivity. So Rommel, are you there?
Sorry. Am I in?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think you have lost the connection because he was not in the meeting.
Okay.
Please share your presentation now.
Yes, sure. May I ask confirmation if my screen is already visible to you?
Mm, the presentation is not visible again.
Okay. Is it visible now?
I think mirror screen is visible.
Screen is not working.
Screen is not working. Presentation is not visible.
Uh-huh.
You can try again.
Okay. Sorry.
Sir, can I share it from my end?
Uh,
Rommel, sir?
Romesh, sir, can we share through the ELTAI?
Um, yeah, sure. But then I'm okay.
Okay,
Which one is
just
window or entire screen?
yeah. Now it's visible. Okay,
It's visible.
now it's yeah. Make it in
I
slide.
shared from my end, sir.
Okay, you share from your. Okay.
Slideshow mode. Then.
Is it okay?
Okay. It's actually all right. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it's visible now. Very much.
Okay.
Sir, please go ahead, sir.
All right. And I am also audible, right?
Yes, sir.
You can start from here.
All right. So let me start again my presentation. Um, as I said a while ago, I am very thankful to the English Language Teachers Association of India, particularly to my friend, Dr. Ramkishan Bise, for inviting me to share my humble knowledge about the topic. It is a pleasure to be here with such a dedicated group of educators, especially that my audience, most of you are from India. So today, we're going to explore how integrating the six quotients can transform our classrooms and foster deeper engagement in to our teaching practices or in our students. I'll be drawing on my experiences both in my current workplace here in the Kingdom of Thailand and my previous experiences when I was still in the Philippines 8 years ago to give practical examples of how these questions can be incorporated into activity-based learning with a particular focus on the English language and literature teaching. So here's the overview of my presentation. At the outskirt, I will give a brief introductory note, and then I'll proceed with the overview of the six quotients. Then, the integration of the six Qs into English language and literature teaching. Then, we will proceed with activity-based learning strategies. We're going to explore this one as necessary in the implementation of the six quotients. We are going to undertake also the benefits and challenges in the implementation of six quotients in the field of education. And finally, a brief concluding note. All right. In this session, we are going to accomplish the following objectives. First is to introduce the six quotients and the rule in holistic education. Second, to demonstrate how activity-based learning enhances student engagement and development. Third, to provide practical examples on how to integrate the six quotients. And finally, to offer strategies for adapting the six quotients into our own respective classrooms. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to open this presentation with a powerful quote taken from the famous Albert Einstein, who says that education is not the learning of facts, but rather the training of the mind to think. This quote from Albert Einstein encapsulates the essence of integrating the six quotients into teaching. Education goes beyond rote memorization or the accumulation of academic knowledge. It is about developing critical thinking, emotional intelligence, creativity, and resilience. By adopting a holistic approach through activity-based learning and fostering not only intelligence quotient, but also emotional, moral, creativity, play, and adversity quotients, educators can train students to think deeply, solve problems creatively, and navigate life's complexities with empathy and integrity. This sets the stage for understanding why the six Qs framework is crucial for truly transformative education. Now, let's take a look at the six quotients. First is the intelligence quotients, or familiarly known as the IQ, which refers to the traditional cognitive abilities like problem solving and critical thinking. Secondly, the emotional quotient, or the EQ, which is about understanding and managing emotions, both your own and others. Thirdly, moral quotient, or the MQ, which deals with ethical decision making and developing a strong sense of right and wrong. Fourth, the PQ, or play quotient, which emphasizes the role of play in learning, something often overlooked in traditional classrooms. And fifth, creative quotient or the CQ, creativity quotient or CQ, is the ability to think outside the box and generate innovative solutions. And finally, the sixth one, the most important one, is the adversity quotient or the AQ, which is about resilience, how well students can deal with challenges and overcome obstacles in life. Incorporating these quotients ensures that we are educating the whole person, not just focusing on academic achievement. So let's dig deeper into a more comprehensive understanding of the six different quotients and how it contributes to the holistic development of students. The six quotients represents various aspects of human capacity that go beyond mere cognitive learning. By understanding these quotients, we can create a learning environment that nurtures students in all dimensions, preparing them for the complexities of the world. So let's further look into the role of intelligence quotient in the field of learning and teaching. Intelligence quotient traditionally measures a person's intellectual abilities, including logical reasoning, mathematical skills, linguistic skills, and problem solving activities or capabilities. In education, IQ is often the primary focus, especially in academic assessments. Developing the IQ in the classroom means enhancing students' ability to comprehend, analyze, and apply information. However, IQ is not solely about academic performance. It also involves critical thinking or the ability to synthesize complex information and logical reasoning. In language learning, students use IQ when analyzing text, learning grammar rules, expanding their vocabulary, and understanding the structure of language. In my experiences, both in the Kingdom of Thailand as well as in the Philippines, my English classes focus on enhancing IQ through comprehension exercises, grammar lessons, and vocabulary quizzes. For instance, while teaching the simple past tense in the Kingdom of Thailand, I give students exercises that require them to change present tense verbs into their past tense forms and apply them in meaningful sentences. This develops not only their cognitive understanding of the grammar rule, but also their ability to apply in various contexts. Now, let's look also into emotional quotient, which measures emotional intelligence or the ability to understand and manage one's emotions and empathize with others. In a classroom setting, EQ is developed through activities that require students to collaborate, communicate, and reflect on their feelings and the feelings of others. EQ is crucial in language and literature teaching because it helps students relate to the emotions expressed in the text they read and the conversations they have. High EQ enables students to navigate social interactions effectively, recognize and control their emotions, and hold stronger interpersonal relationships. For example, when teaching the outsiders in Thailand, my students discuss the emotional struggles of the character, such as feelings of loneliness, frustration, or hope. By analyzing these emotions, They become more empathic and emotionally aware. I also encourage reflective journaling where students write about their own emotional reactions to the story, which further develops their EQ. The next one is related to EQ, and this is the moral quotient, MQ, which refers to a person's understanding of ethics, values, and the ability to distinguish right from wrong. In the classroom, MQ can be nurtured through discussions about moral dilemmas, ethics in literature, and personal responsibility. It's about guiding students to reflect on their values and to recognize the consequences of their actions on others. In English literature classes, MQ or moral quotient is developed when students engage in discussions about ethical decisions made by characters. This fosters sense of morality and ethics as they assess different viewpoints and learn to appreciate cultural and societal values. Example, in the Philippines, I taught a unit on Noli Me Tangere, that is one of the most important literature books in the Philippines. It is written by our national hero, Jose Rizal, where the students explored the moral implications of characters' actions, such as whether the protagonist should fight oppression with violence or peaceful means. We discussed these ethical dilemmas and encourage students to relate the characters' choices to their own lives and societal issues, thus building their moral quotient. The fourth one um, is a dimension that is very meaningful and it makes enjoyable and it makes the students enjoy learning. Why? Because um, the play quotient emphasizes the importance of incorporating play and fun into the learning process. Play fosters creativity, engagement, and a love for learning, making students more likely to retain information and develop critical skills. In language learning, play can be integrated through role playing, creative storytelling, language games, or other playful activities that enhance students' engagement. An example of this is my experience here in Thailand, where I often use role playing to teach English dialogues, where students act out scenarios such as ordering food at a restaurant or asking for and giving directions. Um, these activities not only make learning more enjoyable, but also help students practice language skills in a fun and interactive way. In one particular lesson, students reenacted um, a scene from the diary of Anne Frank and added their own creative twists, which engaged their imagination and language skills, developing their PQ or play quotient. Next is the creativity quotient, which is the ability to think outside the box, innovate, and approach problems from new perspectives. In the classroom, this is encouraged through activities that foster creative thinking, such as writing original stories, composing poems, or reimagining traditional literary texts. Creativity also involves applying existing knowledge in new and imaginative ways, making it essential for lifelong learning. Example, in the Philippines, I asked my students to create alternative endings to classic stories like Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. This task encouraged them to think creatively, about the plot while staying true to the characters and themes. It also pushed them to use their language skills in creative way, fostering both their CQ and language proficiency. These students also show incredible creativity when I ask them to design visual storybooks for the novels they read, blending literature with art. Next one is the adversity quotient, which refers to a person's ability to overcome challenges and persevere through difficult situations. In education, adversity quotient is nurtured when students are faced with challenging tasks or different materials and are encouraged to persist. Building the adversity quotient of students means equipping them with resilience, problem solving skills, and a growth mindset. In literature and language classes, students can develop um, adversity quotient by grappling with complex texts, participating in debates, or working on group projects where they need to collaborate to solve problems. Additionally, they learn resilience when dealing with the complexities of grammar or mastering difficult vocabulary. In Thailand, for example, I often push students slightly out of their comfort zone by introducing challenging novels such as To Kill a Mockingbird that deal with complex themes of racial inequality and moral courage. Students sometimes struggle with the language and cultural context, but through guided discussions and support, they learn to tackle difficult ideas and persevere, enhancing their adversity quotient. The sixth quotient represents a holistic approach to education. While IQ is traditionally emphasized in many academic settings, the inclusion of EQ, MQ, PQ, CQ, and AQ ensures that students are not just intellectually prepared, but also emotionally intelligent, morally grounded, creative, and resilient. By integrating all these dimensions into language and literature teaching, we foster well-rounded students who are prepared for the challenges and complexities of both academic life and the world beyond the classroom. So the question is, why do we need to integrate the six quotients in language and literature teaching or in any other field or discipline? Through integration of all these dimensions, we foster well-rounded students who are prepared for the challenges and complexities of both academic life and the world beyond the classroom. So, if that is the case, then let's look deeper why there is really a need to integrate these six skills. First reason is to prepare the students for real world challenges. The 21st century demands individuals who can think critically, collaborate effectively, and solve problems effectively. By focusing on the six quotients, teachers are preparing students for real-world challenges that go beyond academics. The ability to navigate emotions or EQ, make ethical decisions, which develop their moral quotient, be creative, and adapt to adversity are essential skills in today's fast-changing world. In my experience teaching in both Thailand and the Philippines, I've seen firsthand how students benefit from developing these skills. In Thailand, I work with students who are learning English in a rapidly globalizing society. By incorporating activities that build their emotional quotient, creativity quotient, and adversity quotient, I prepare them to succeed not only in academic settings, but also in their future workplace where emotional intelligence, creativity, and resilience are valued. The second reason why there is a need to integrate the six Qs is to foster lifelong learning. Um, in this case, lifelong learning isn't just about acquiring knowledge, it's about the ability to adapt, grow, and continue learning in the face of new challenges. Students who develop their adversity quotient are more likely to persevere when faced with difficulties, while those who develop their creativity quotient will continually seek out new ways of thinking and problem solving. Meanwhile, students with a strong moral quotient will navigate ethical decisions with integrity, and those with a high play quotient will approach life with a sense of curiosity and fun. Example from Thailand, one of the most rewarding aspects of teaching in Thailand has been seeing how students who initially struggle with language challenges develop resilience over time. For instance, students who were initially overwhelmed by the complexity of English literature eventually found joy in engaging with the material as they developed the perseverance to tackle difficult readings. This shift demonstrates how the adversity quotient combined with the creative and playful approach and the play quotient helps foster lifelong learners who approach challenges with curiosity and resilience. Finally, um, there is a need to integrate the six Qs because we tend to believe that the six Qs emphasizes the need for holistic education, where the whole student is nurtured in terms of the mind, heart, and soul. Instead of focusing solely on academic achievement, teachers need to recognize the importance of emotional and moral development, as well as the need to creativity and play learning. For instance, students who were initially overwhelmed um, when focused on the whole students, we aren't just preparing them for exams, we're preparing them for life, whether it's building strong interpersonal skills through emotional quotient or encouraging ethical reflections through moral quotient. Holistic education ensures that students leave school as well-rounded individuals capable of making meaningful contributions to society. Example from the Philippines, in my previous role in the Philippines, I saw how students thrive when we incorporated moral discussions into our lessons. One of the most profound moments was during a unit on El Filibusterismo, which is the sequel of um, Nole Metangere, um, where students debated the moral consequences of characters' actions. The discussions help students reflect on their own values and think deeply about the kind of people they want to be, demonstrating how important moral quotient is in holistic education. Hence, the integration of the six quotients into education offers a transformative approach that prepares students not just for academic success, but for life. By fostering intelligence, emotions, resilience, creativity, playfulness, moral integrity, and adaptability. We ensure that students are equipped with the tools they need to navigate an increasingly complex world. These quotients are not just important for students' future careers, but for their personal growth and development as individuals who can thrive in an environment. How are we going to uh, integrate the six Qs in language and literature? In terms of the intelligence quotient, it can be developed by focusing on reading comprehension, literary analysis, and critical thinking exercises. For the emotional quotient, it comes into play when we encourage our students to empathize with characters, understand motivations, and analyze emotional conflicts and stories. For the case of moral quotient, this can be explored through ethical dilemmas and moral questions in literature. For example, discussing right and wrong choices made by the characters. Then, for the play quotient, it is easily integrated through role playing and interactive storytelling games. For creativity quotient, this can be developed through creative writing tasks and students to think of alternative endings or reimagined scenes. And finally, the adversity quotient can be fostered by having students explore the adversities faced by characters and discussing how resilient um, how resilience plays a role in overcoming challenges. Integrating um, the six skills in language learning and literature teaching is not just about enhancing academic performance, but about nurturing well-rounded individuals who are emotionally intelligent, creative, morally aware, resilient, and intellectually curious. Um, we need to explore also activity-based learning because these are the things that we are to integrate in our own teaching so as to transform our students to become um, well equipped for the future as well as ready for any adversities in life. So, activity based learning is a student centered approach that encourages learners to engage actively through hands on activities, collaboration, and real world problem solving. It aligns with the six quotients because it fosters critical thinking, emotional engagement, creativity, and resilience. Through the activity-based learning, learning experience can be transformed from passive reception to active exploration and understanding. And the different strategies towards the implementation of the six quotients in language and literature learning are the following. So role playing is very obvious because it develops not only the speaking ability of the students but also their own creativity in acting. Think Pair Share is another activity-based learning strategies. We can also use story mapping, gallery walk, debates, project-based learning, jigsaw activity, and game-based learning. we w- um having explored the different strategies to be implemented in to be implemented so that the six quotients could be possible in language and literature classes, then we will also explore the benefits and challenges, or the advantages and the things that we might encounter in the implementation of the six quotients. So the first one is holistic student development, then enhance engagement and motivation, increase emotional and social intelligence, resilience and adaptability, and preparation for future careers. For the challenges in the implementation of the six Qs in the education, we might encounter curriculum constraints wherein it might not be aligned um, with our own objectives, as well as with other factors relative to the implementation. Then teacher preparedness and training is also another challenge. Time management and class size, lack of resources because we really need funding also, and assessment difficulties. Mhm. So to end my presentation, I would like to borrow the idea of Martin Luther King Jr., who says that the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character. That is the goal of true education. This quote powerfully underscores the ultimate goal of integrating the six quotients in education, not just to cultivate intelligence, but to develop character alongside it. By focusing on the holistic growth of students intellectually, emotionally, morally, creatively, and socially, we equip them to think critically and act with integrity. The six quotients framework emphasizes that true education is not just about academic success, but it's about preparing students to navigate and contribute meaningfully to the world. This quote serves as a compelling reminder of the higher purpose of education as we end this presentation. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope I have shared something new which you may adapt in your own respective classrooms later on. And I'm indeed grateful for this opportunity. So, if you want to discuss further with me relative to the topic that I have presented, you can contact me via my email, which is indicated in this presentation. So, thank you very much, and have a great night to all of you.
Rommel, yeah, thank you. So, Rommel, we will take some question, two, three questions, and then I'll sum up. Okay, so there are uh, there are some questions from the participants. Okay, the first question is by Ritu Agrawal. So, which questions is most challenging according to you to be fostered in a learner in the classroom environment?
Among the six questions,
Among
the adversity quotient is the most challenging one, because I think this is the highest among the six quotients, because it encompasses all the intelligence quotient, wherein you need to think creatively to solve problems, not only temporal, but rather it is solution that you may you may bring it forward. So that's for the case of in that's the case of relationship between the adversity quotient and the intelligence quotient. And then EQ, emotional quotient, which is of course the ability to relate with other individuals, wherein adversity quotient is really um uh, wherein adversity quotient is really necessary. It further enhance our own EQ. Same way, same way is true with that of moral quotient, because in moral quotient we are being guided on which decision we need to make. And in this case, adversity quotient would teach us, or would teach our student how to survive with whatever decisions that they made from that morally upright, or whether it is morally upright or not. So in conclusion, the adversity quotient is the most difficult one to implement inside the classroom. And it really needs a lot of preparation. We really need to think a lot of activities wherein they will be exposed, not only in terms of decision making, but also in terms of the use of language.
Hemangi ma'am. Ma'am, please unmute yourself, ma'am.
Yes. So we have another question from Divya Hariharan. And the question is, sir, can you tell how the 6 Qs can be incorporated in adult education with some examples?
Right now, for example, in Thailand, in our own lesson plan, in our objectives, for example, objective one, what particular quotient we wanted to develop in our student. So we need to indicate in there whether it is the IQ, EQ, AQ. From this objective, and then we create activities in the presentation and practice, or in the whole process of learning. So in that way, um, after after executing the lesson, we can have a self-reflection whether this quotient has been implemented or not, as we indicated in the objectives. If they were not implemented, then we need to we need to see, we need to see the connection of the next lesson from that of the previous lesson that they meet, in order that um we really we can fully develop what was really indicated in our own objectives. So it's really difficult because it entails a lot of preparation. You as a teacher also need to be creative, because you need to design activities that is appropriate for them in order to develop their 6 quotients. But there are cases wherein in one lesson, you can only develop at least 3 quotient. For example, intelligence quotient, emotional quotients, and creativity quotient. Um, and of course, we need to see to it that in every topic that we share to our students, we we are integrating at least two to three quotients that were two to three quotients.
Hemang,
Yeah, we'll take this last one question. Uh, there's a question from Nilay Chakraborty. How to deal with the verb alternation problem among ESL learners? Which cue will be helpful in this case?
I'm sorry, I didn't get well the question.
How to deal with the verb alternation problem among ESL learners? Which cue will be helpful in this case?
Um, Alteration.
Verb
Hmm.
alteration. Verbs.
For me, the best is uh, the best is the AQ, the adversity quotient. Because it is in this quotient wherein we can develop the learners holistically because it summarizes all the other quotients. Um, you can you cannot make a learner to become resilient if he hasn't developed fully his or if he is not equipped with an IQ that is he is not equipped with such a IQ that is necessary in facing challenges in whatever obstacles. So I think among all the six quotients, adversity is adversity quotient is the most desired one.
okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So thank you so much, Dr. Rommel V. Tabula, for such an enlightening and transformative session. So today's topic was the integrating the six quotient, transforming teaching with activity-based learning, and has truly provided us with fresh and innovative perspectives on the way we approach language learning. And your comprehensive breakdown of six quotient IQ, EQ, MQ, PQ, CQ, and AQ has illustrated the vital role of these elements play in a shaping a holistic educational experience. So by integrating these quotients, you have shown us that education is not merely about enhancing cognitive abilities, but about preparing
Uh, he says, sir, you're not audible. Hello.
yes, ma'am. Uh,
Now you are audible, sir.
audible. Okay, sorry. There was some internet connection problem. Okay. So by integrating, is I'm audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So by integrating this quotients, you have shown us that education is not merely about enhancing cognitive abilities, but about preparing our student to thrive emotionally, morally, creatively, and even in through the adversity. So the real world applications and activity based learning strategies, uh, which you have shared or offered us as a blueprint to make our classroom more engaging and relevant to complexities of the today's world. So your insight on adaptability of this framework to a diverse educational context, coupled with personal examples, have made it clear that this approach can reshape just how to teach, but also how students grow as well-rounded individuals. So once again, on behalf of everyone attending, I want to thank you from the ELTAI, Dr. Tabula, for your dedications to improving this education globally and for sharing your expertise with us today. And we are looking forward more collaboration with you. So we will look forward to implementing this transformative strategies in our classroom, and we are going to witnessing the impact uh, they will undoubtedly have on our students. So thank you, Dr. Romel Tabula, for a wonderful session and for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rommel Tabula, sir, for your session on integrating the 6 Qs, transforming teaching with activity-based learning. It was not just informative, but also incredibly engaging and thought-provoking. The ideas that you shared with us were very interesting. On behalf of ELTAI and all our participants, thank you, Dr. Tabula, for conducting such an interesting and inspiring session. Your knowledge has been truly invaluable. I would also like to thank Dr. Bise for moderating the session and offering your expert remarks. I would also like to thank you for summarizing the session and handling the Q&A. Well, behind the scenes, there's a dedicated team that works tirelessly to ensure the success of LTI webinars. A special thanks to the organizing team for their hard work and commitment to promoting excellence in English language teaching. And last but certainly not least, a heartfelt thank you to our participants from Saudi Arabia, Thailand, Pakistan, Philippines, Malaysia, and of course, all corners of India. Your active participation, questions, and insights make these webinars not just informative, but also a platform for rich discussion and global collaboration. A few instructions. Um, Please don't forget to fill up the feedback form. Certificates will be issued only to school, UG, and PG students, LTI members, and foreign nationals. Ladies and gentlemen, before I wrap up, a few more announcements. Please mark your calendars and save the date for our next insightful LTI webinar. We would like to have the poster, please. Yeah. LTI webinar number 127. The topic of the webinar is the language versus literature question in ELT by Dr. Jason Anderson, Assistant Professor from University of Warwick, United Kingdom. So I hope you will start registering for the next webinar. So registration details and additional information about this exciting webinar are available in the chat box and also on our website. Be sure to visit our website and keep an eye out for updates so you can secure your spot for this enriching experience. Yes, of course, I would like to remind the participants of the LTI conference, the 18th International and 54th Annual Conference of ELTAI, which is going to be held from 23rd to 26th October at the Assam Royal Global University, Guwahati. Please book your tickets and book your stay accommodations so that we can meet you there in Guwahati. Remember, your active participation is not only encouraged but essential to the success of our webinars. Let's continue our journey of professional development together. Now it's time for a group photograph. I request everyone to turn on their videos.
Rommel, sorry, left side.
Rommel sir, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Just switch on your camera. It was
My
you're
cam
taking
is in, but I don't know why
a group photo.
it doesn't appear.
Not yet. Okay, I think
What's wrong?
Okay, everyone, a broad smile, please. Thank you so much, everyone.
thank you.